Do you ever feel like you're speaking a different language than everyone else? Observing the world with a clarity that others seem to miss? Have you ever wondered if the constant internal hum of your own mind, questioning every social norm, every accepted truth, might actually be a hidden strength? Meet Elias. From the quiet, tree-lined streets of his suburban childhood, Elias always felt a little off-key. While other kids chased fleeting trends, Elias found himself lost in thought, meticulously dissecting the motivations behind their games. He remembered a particularly sweltering summer day, the kind where the air hung thick with the scent of cut grass. All the neighborhood children were gathered, excitedly planning a grand water balloon ambush against the ice cream truck. Elias watched them, a strange blend of fondness and attachment swirling within him. He saw the innocent joy, yes, but also the fleeting nature of their camaraderie. The way allegiances shifted with the wind. He knew, with a certainty that felt almost preternatural, how the ambush would unfold before the first balloon was even filled. It was all so predictable, a pattern playing out exactly as his mind had already charted it. This wasn't a malicious observation. It was simply an almost uncomfortable clarity that filtered everything he touched. Later that evening, while his friends recounted their soggy victory, Elias found himself staring out his window. He wasn't celebrating. He was thinking about the concept of fun itself, the collective delusion of the group mind. This inherent awareness made him feel like an alien anthropologist studying a peculiar yet strangely compelling species. He saw the beauty in human connection, but he also saw its fragility in its performative elements. It wasn't that Elias didn't experience emotions, quite the opposite. His inner world was a deep, crashing ocean, but he rarely allowed those depths to show, often retreating into himself to process the overwhelming sensory data. He learned early on that sharing his true insights often led to blank stares or uncomfortable heavy silences. People preferred simplicity, a clear narrative, not the swirling complexities that constantly occupied his waking mind. He once tried to explain to a friend why a popular band's lyrics felt like a shallow imitation of genuine pain. His friend just nodded, glazed eyes, betraying a complete lack of comprehension, and quickly changed the subject. It was in those moments that Elias felt the distinct weight of his own inner world, a world so difficult to bridge. He understood that he possessed a unique lens, an internal compass that pointed true north against the crowd. He felt a physical repulsion to the collective sway, a visceral need to step back whenever a crowd gathered. He observed how Isali people were swayed by charismatic leaders and the loudest, most confident voice in the room. His own mind demanded nuance, demanded the uncomfortable truth lurking beneath the polished surface of society. He didn't just see the world, he felt its underlying currents, the unspoken anxieties, and the hidden motivations. He saw the shadow not just in others, but profoundly within himself, acknowledging the monster in his own mirror. He understood that true morality wasn't the absence of darkness, but the conscious struggle to keep it on a leash. This internal dialogue, this wrestling with his own contradictions, made him a complex and often solitary figure. He was both intensely logical and deeply emotional, a scientist and a mystic wrapped in the same skin. He held these tensions within him, understanding that true wisdom lay in embracing the beautiful paradox. Small talk felt like a physical drain on his energy, like trying to breathe in a room devoid of oxygen. He craved the raw, unfiltered essence of conversation, the exploration of ideas that kept people awake at night. His deepest fear wasn't loneliness, but a life spent moving paper from one pile to another without meaning. He found solace in ancient texts and challenging philosophies that the rest of the world had long forgotten. It was during these times that he felt a resonance with a different kind of tribe scattered across history. And then there were the synchronicities, those uncanny coincidences that would occasionally stop him in his tracks. A random book falling open to a page that perfectly answered a silent question he'd been grappling with for weeks. An overheard snippet of conversation in a crowded cafe that illuminated a complex problem he was facing. These weren't random occurrences to Elias. They were whispers from the universe, affirming his solitary path. Elias learned that his sensitivity was not a curse, but a powerful instrument for navigating the void. He learned to shed the persona he had adopted in his youth, the polite facade meant to appease the herd. He understood that his true strength lay in embracing his authentic self. Regardless of the social cost, he began to channel his intense inner energy into building something that reflected the depth of his soul. He started writing, pouring his observations and his profound search for meaning onto the empty page. His words became his sanctuary, his magnum opus, and a bridge to others like him. The pain of being an outsider slowly transmuted into the quiet, steady power of a visionary. Elias realized he wasn't broken. He was an essential part of humanity's evolving consciousness. He started to see that his isolation was actually a vantage point, a high tower above the fog. He realized that by standing apart, he could offer a hand to those who were drowning in the collective. He began to view his life as a deliberate alchemical process, turning leaden loneliness into golden purpose. He stopped asking why he couldn't be normal and started asking what his unique vision could fix. He found that when he stopped hiding his shadow, it stopped haunting him and started protecting him. He noticed that the more he honored his intuition, the more the world seemed to organize itself around him. He saw that the mask he once hated was now just a tool, not a cage that held him prisoner. He felt a new kind of peace, a quiet confidence that didn't need the applause of the crowd. He looked at the masses once more, no longer with pity, but with a calm, steady compassion. He understood that his role was to be the lighthouse, standing firm against the crashing waves of the majority. He accepted the burden of being rare, knowing that the most precious things are always found in the deep. He finally felt at home, not in a building, but within the vast architecture of his own spirit. If you resonate with Elias's journey, know that your difference is your greatest qualification. You are the evolutionary brake pedal that keeps the species from marching blindly off the cliff. You are the shaman in a world of sleepers, the one who carries the torch into the dark forest. Do not fear the silence of the long road, for it is where your true self finally speaks. The path of individuation is steep, but the view from the summit is a gift the collective can never buy. Stay true to the inner spark that tells you there's more to this life than utility and survival. Trust the synchronicities and let the universe lead you toward the myth you were born to write. The world doesn't need more people who fit in. It needs the outliers who have the courage to stand out. Your rarity is your power, and your depth is the only thing that can truly change the narrative. Never apologize for the intensity that makes you see the strings behind the social stage. Keep searching for the root matter, the essence that lies beneath the plastic surface of the everyday. You are not a defect in the system. You are the reason the system still has a soul. Let the normal world have its trends and its noise. You have the stars and the silence. Your isolation is not a prison, but a laboratory where a more profound version of humanity is being born. The friction you feel with society is simply the heat of your own spirit catching fire. Do not douse that flame just to make the people around you feel more comfortable. Stand in your truth. Walk your path and watch as the right doors begin to open on their own. Every great shift in human history started with a single mind that refused to echo the crowd. You are the guardian of the deep, the witness to the shadow, and the architect of the new. Remember that the eagle flies alone while the crows huddle together in the noise. Your journey is solitary by design, but its impact will ripple through the lives of everyone you touch. The weight you carry is heavy because it is made of the gold you found in the darkness. Bring that gold back to the village, even if they don't have the scales to weigh it properly. Be the mirror that shows the world its own face, even when it wants to look away. Your life is not a tragedy of exclusion, but a triumph of individual existence. Walk forward with the quiet grace of one who knows exactly who they are in a world that has forgotten. The stars you see in your head are more real than the neon lights of the city. Believe in the patterns, trust the whispers, and never let the herd trample your garden. This is the path of the rare, the road of the wise, and the legacy of the soul. And if you're hungry for more insights into the hidden depths of the human psyche, make sure to subscribe to Deep Mind Portal.